guys, this is Sandra here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. It's so lovely to have you here and I hope you're gonna enjoy your time. So today we have another update for my A Pen Palette project pen, which if you haven't seen these before, basically I try to make sure that I have at least one pen in all my eyeshadow palettes. Now currently I have 40 something. I can leave it on the screen. I just bought a new one the other day. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Sandra. I'm an eyeshadow addict. I have no shame in admitting that. I love eyeshadows. I don't know. They make me happy. But I only have one set of eyeballs, so I decided to start this project just to make sure that I can show proper love to all my eyeshadow palettes. And without more blubbering, you know, let's just hop on into the update. If you've seen last month's video, you know that I had a really good update where I've hit pen on all 5 eyeshadow products that I've been working on. And yeah, I managed to roll in all eyeshadows from the Colourpop and Animal Crossing collection. So I'm going to talk you through these 4 little palettes first. Now, one thing I'm going to mention is that we're going on holiday on Friday. By the time you see this, we are on holiday and I have to pre-film. So I only had about 3 weeks worth of progress on these rather than 4 weeks. But, you know, you have to do what you have to do. I still wanted to show you... Whoa, I almost dropped one. I still wanted to show you where I am with these palettes, and I wanted to make sure there's a video for me to put out there for you guys. So first, we're gonna go with the What a Hoot palette, which is this orange one with Celeste and what's his name on it? Oh my god, I literally talked to him yesterday. Blethers, there we go. Brain freeze. So in this, I'm working on the shade Celestial, and I don't know how well you can see in the pictures, so I'm gonna zoom in. I have a really sizable dip in this. This is a shade that, while it looks quite orange in the pen, it is a perfect shade to blend out any kind of browny shades, or I even use it today, even though mainly I have pinks and purples on my eye. So I just find that it's a really nice shade to blend out deeper shades with. It's just a perfect transition shade. You can use it in so many looks, and that definitely contributed to me having such a sizable dip in there. And while 1 month was not enough, to be fair, I knew that on most of these products I'm not going to be able to hit pen, because these are all fairly new palettes to me and I haven't really had the time to use them. So I knew it will take time to hit pen, but I think with this shade I will be able to hit pen by next month. Now, I don't know how deep the pens exactly are. I only have like these 4 and then 2 other Colourpop palettes, so I don't have a huge experience with Colourpop. I don't know how deep the pens are, but I have a feeling that by next month I can actually hit pen in this. And because I was reaching for that shade, it also made me reach for this dark brown shade in there as well. And that's why I like this project, because it makes me reach for the other shades in the palette more as well. And, you know, make sure that I love them all. Next up, we have a Nook Ink. Now this one I think I used once on my eye and once on my nails. Although I think I use a different shade on my nails. But I am working on the shade Yes Yes. Oh no, that's what I use on my nails. So there is a little bit of a dip going on there, or a little bit of disturbance, but not a huge amount. I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it through the pictures. That's why I always insert little video clips for you as well, because sometimes I feel like it's easier to see on a video rather than just in a picture, because I can move it around. But Yes Yes is a beautiful shade. It's so nice and reflective. I love using this. It's beautiful, but I only got around using it twice again in the 3 weeks. Once on my eyes. I think I only used it once, or maybe twice. And then once on my nails as a top coat. I mentioned it before. I've heard once Rebecca Morgan using eyeshadows as a nail polish, and I think it's perfect, especially when it's a shimmery shade like this, because they give a bit more of a periwinkle, slight, I don't know, glowy dimension to the nail, and it's just beautiful. So I will link her video below where she shows how she's using them, but I love using really sheer, glowy eyeshadows because they are just almost acting like a shiny top coat on the nail, and I love that effect. So, you know, because this is more of a colourful shade, it might take me a bit longer to get enough use out of it, but we'll see. Then and next we have La Belle of the Ball, which is the more purple palette with Sable and Mabel on it. And in this one I'm using the shade Taylor's Ticket. Now with this one, again, there's definitely a little bit of a dip in there. I actually used it today as well. I'm not sure how much you can see. I don't think I'm close enough. But there's a little bit in the middle of my eyelid. Then I also used this on my lower lash line to blend out my eyeliner that I applied there. I really, really love this shade. It's a beautiful pastel purple with some shimmer running through it. But the nice thing about these shades, it's the same with the one in the What a Hoot palette. It's the same in the green palette, the pink palette. The second shade in the top row is always a more like a natural color with shimmers running through it, but it's not too much shimmer. So if you want to use it in your crease to blend out shadows, you can. You know, the shimmer doesn't really show through, but then if you properly pack it on your eyelid, you see the shimmer. I still want to create a look where I just use this all over my lid. I think it would be beautiful as like a one and done kind of shadow, or even just a bit of a lighter pastel purple in the crease and then this all over the lid. I think it would look beautiful with this dark shade as a liner. I think it would be so pretty. I used this shade as well, I think, once. I used Serene Sable, which is this a deep purple, a few times as well. So again, you know, I made sure that I use the other shades as well in conjunction. And this palette in particular, La Belle of the Ball, this pairs really nice with the Colourpop Lizzie McGuire palette as well, because that has those purpley shades in there as well, and the two look beautiful together. They are stunning. Then the last palette is the 5 Star Island. So in this one I use the shade Isabel, and I thought that this will pair really nicely with the more neutral shade in this project as an all over eyelid kind of color. Let me tell you, it did not work. I tried. As you can see, I love yellow, and I thought this will be like a beautiful yellowy shade all over the lid. It did not work, so I had to go back to just using it in a corner on the brow bone, and then if I go in with a really fluffy brush and a really light hand, I can apply it as a highlighter. So along with my Charlotte Tilbury highlighter, I also have this on my cheekbones. Now, I quite like an intense highlight, so it kind of works, but you have to be really careful, otherwise it's too yellow. And every time I use it on my brow bone as well, I have to go back in with a fluffy brush to blend it together with my crease, because otherwise it can be a little bit harsh. But I still have a nice dip in there. I think it will take me a while. Because again, I can't really use it all over my lid how I initially thought I can do it, but never mind, I'm still getting some use out of it. I still really like it. I still think it's a beautiful shade. It just doesn't quite work all over the lid how I thought it will. And then the last shade I've been working on is from Natasha Denona. This is the Mini Star palette. Sorry, I got interrupted, but as I mentioned, the last palette is the Natasha Denona Mini Star palette. And I'm either working on the shade Attic or Earth. I'm not too sure. I always get confused. But it's this light transition shade. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought this will be the shade that I have the most use out of. I thought, you know what, it's a perfect transition shade. It's perfect for the crease, for a soft, smoky eye. It's gonna be wonderful. And while there's a nice dip starting to form, I haven't used it as much as I did the What a Hoot in the Hoot. What a Hoot. What's wrong with me today? What a Hoot palette. So, I also feel like this one is super pigmented. The palette is amazing. But yeah, it's really pigmented, so you don't need a lot in one go, which I think is part of the reason why I haven't used it too much. But I also reached for this middle shade quite often, which is this beautiful shimmery shade. I also reached for the dark brown. I feel like it's a really nice compact lifted palette. I do enjoy using it, and this is one I actually plan to take with me on holiday. So I'm sure I will get plenty more use out of it. And oh, I also used this shade quite a bit, and I feel like this would have been maybe a better shade because I'm so close to hitting pan on this. I love using it on top of a dark brown or a dark black as a liner. It makes such a beautiful, like, bluey, purpley, kind of galactic kind of color, if it makes sense. I really like this palette, and I don't know how long it's going to take me to hit pan because the other shadow has a really sizable dip in there and I still haven't hit pan, so I feel like these might be quite deep. And again, really pigmented shadow, you don't need a lot, but I'm going to take it on holiday with me as well. I think it's a perfect little travel companion for just a really easy everyday look. The shadows perform beautifully, so I will definitely get more use out of it by next time. But unfortunately, because all of these palettes were fairly new in my collection, it means that I cannot roll in anything new at the moment. But, you know, I still feel like we made good progress, and I'm so happy that these little palettes are getting more use, because before that they were in my collection, and while I love the colors, I have so many other palettes as well that sometimes I tend to reach for more bigger palettes where I can get one cohesive look out of a palette rather than me having to reach into, you know, quite a few. But I love these, and again, you know, this one together with the Colourpop Lizzie McGuire palette, if you're a colour lover, oh my god, they work so well together. I love them. It's the pretty, like, pastel dream kind of combination, and they are so good. But this is it for today. I would love to know, what is your favorite color combination at the moment? As you can see, I love going for pastels on my eyes, on my t-shirt, usually on my nails as well, although not at the moment. But that's it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please consider subscribing. It would mean so much to me. But for now, I'm gonna go. I hope you have a lovely day, and bye bye. I hope to see you in my next video.